I was able to get an early review copy of Samurai Warriors 5 from Koei 4 days ago, and I've been playing Samurai Warriors 5 continuously since then. Samurai Warriors 5 is a hack and slash game set in the Warring States period of Japan, also known as the Sengoku Jidai.
Oh my god, this is Inazuma.
No, it's feudal Japan! Shut up!
はいはい、わかったよ。はあ、つまんね。
おいおい、口の利き方がなってねえな。こりゃ、俺が一から礼儀を叩き込んでやらねえとな。やれやれ。
As I mentioned, this game is a hack and slash game, which Koei is probably most known for their hack and slash titles, also known as the Musu games. Samurai Warriors is probably the most popular Musu franchise, alongside Dynasty Warriors. The game being popular to garner 5 main installments, plus a bunch of spin-offs. Their last spin-off, Spirit of Sanada, is probably one of my favorite Samurai Warriors games of all time. However, this game is probably the most different from the previous 4 Samurai Warriors games, as it is a new telling of the same story, a reboot if you will. And while the past 4 games each have told the story in a unique way, either following historical accuracy or going the fictional route, Samurai Warriors 5 takes a huge step with its liberties. This game changes up the characters fans of the series have grown to know and gave them new looks, personalities, and movesets. Well, some of the characters retain their old voice actors and have some semblance to their past self, but this game is a completely new coat of paint when it comes to the cast. Not only that, but Koei made the polarizing decision to cut off most of the roster to focus on the timeline of the game. Samurai Warriors 5 mainly focuses on the lives of Nobunaga Oda and Mitsuhide Akechi, though what I really appreciate about this game is that they gave the spotlight to deuteragonists like Ieyasu Tokugawa and Hideyoshi Hashiba. But I digress. What I was saying earlier about the roster being cut was a controversial decision, alongside having weapon clones in the game. For those who may be new to the series, weapon clones mean several characters will have the same weapon moveset, and I will get to more of that later, but basically, those decisions I mentioned are probably already deal breakers for some of the fans of the series. I personally like to keep an open mind when it comes to Warriors games, so I went ahead and played the demo, which you can find my playthrough of it on my channel. The game looked absolutely beautiful. I love the artistic style of the graphics and the entire game itself, but I also thought, damn, the gameplay was kinda slow. It felt like I was back to playing Samurai Warriors 2 or Dynasty Warriors 5, which were my first games from both franchises. But fast forward to me getting a copy of the game, and I understood why the moveset was like that. Your character starts off a certain character level, and at the lowest weapon mastery level. If you continue to level both up, your character will not only fight faster, but you unlock more moves to do. This ties in to the clone weapons I was talking about earlier. Does it suck that we got clone weapons again after Dynasty Warriors 9? Yeah, but I personally think Samurai Warriors 5 makes up for this by giving every character of the main roster a unique combo. What I mean is the basic moveset of a weapon is the same, but the finishing move of a certain combo is different. So if you press square continuously, it's the same moves, but add a triangle somewhere there, and you've got some variety. Aside from the combos, you have status buffs and ultimate skills that can be mapped. In the PlayStation, it could be R1 plus square or R1 plus triangle, etc. You can also unlock skills for your selected character with a skill tree, and the skill tree is one of the coolest and most creative looking skill trees in the franchise, or games in general. Your skill tree is shaped based off your character's clan emblem. So for example, Mitsuhide's Akechi's skill tree is shaped like a bellflower, and it looks so cool when you unlock every skill and the emblem lights up. You also have staple gameplay mechanics in the Musou game. You know, in the PlayStation you can press square for basic attacks, triangle for charge attacks, and circle for signature moves, also known as a Musou. You can also perform a true Musou through a rage mode or teaming up with your partner character. A partner character can either be a second player or a backup character in single mode that also appears in the map. Speaking of maps, the environments are beautiful in this game and littered with troops for you to just hack away and cause destruction. You can end up KOing about 1,000 enemies in battle, and it's always satisfying to reach 1,000 kills in a Musou game. Though I did notice some stages will end up using the same map, which is actually nothing new in the series. Dynasty Warriors 8, which is pretty well liked game in the Musou community, has done this too. It's just that this is the first time I noticed a stage use the same map on my own without anyone else pointing it out. I wonder if it will be more noticeable for other players, though it shouldn't be a bad thing as long as the stage can give a different experience even with the same map. I played the story mode of the game and I really liked it. It's a new telling of Nobunaga and Mitsuhide's story, while keeping some of the core elements we liked from previous installments. The previous game showed Nobunaga as already the Demon King, but Samurai Warriors 5 shows Nobunaga's rise from the fool of Owari to the Demon King. This game also shows Mitsuhide's spiral into cruelty as well, which is a fascinating take, as previous games always showed Mitsuhide to be the antithesis of Nobunaga. The stages of story mode are fun, but since the story was cut into two, Nobunaga's path and Mitsuhide's path, some stages repeated and played the same. Playing the same stage can be fun when it's like Nobunaga and Mitsuhide on the opposing sides. When it's them at the same side, some of the story stages play the same. Though there were some like Scorching of Mount Hiei that plays uniquely, even though Nobunaga and Mitsuhide are on the same side, and that stage is both on Nobunaga's side and Mitsuhide's path. I wonder why this couldn't have been the case for other battles. Since I played Nobunaga's path first, I felt like Mitsuhide's story paled in comparison, because I was rushing some of the stages that I already experienced in Nobunaga's path. Though I will say that the stages are extremely fun. It can be the best experience. This is the first Musou game where I did my playthrough on hard difficulty, and I had a blast. I didn't feel frustrated. I felt that my deaths were fair, and I had fun leveling up and turning the hard difficulty into my bitch. Going back to the cast, I felt like this game did well representing most of the cast. Even the supporting characters stood out in their own way. Motonobu Okabe is one of the ones that come to mind, and I wish that he could have been part of the main cast with his own unique combos, though there were some characters that felt disappointing. Yasuke appears too late in the story to have any sort of character development, so he ends up feeling like a Ranmaru Mori replacement. Toshie Maeda starts off with great screen time and is important to the story mode, but ends up getting benched hard and falling out of the story later on. And Kazuji Nakamura, as I'm typing my script, I forgot his name for a good minute. Like, you could have taken Kazuji out of the story, out of the game, and nothing would have felt different for me. Though aside from those three, I think the game does great, and most of the characters are great. The cast is great. For example, the Mori used to be really forgettable characters in Samurai Warriors 4, now they're badass. Aside from the main story, there are also side content. The special scenarios with Ieyasu and Hideyoshi, the free mode, and Reverie chapters, which are basically hypothetical stories. They're all great, but the letdown for me was Citadel mode. Citadel mode is basically a defend the base mode, which honestly isn't bad. Like, I had fun with it. It's an okay mode. My disappointment lies in the fact that this mode was used wrong. The mode basically gives you incentive for playing it by giving you materials to upgrade shops like the blacksmith, the stables, the item shop, which I don't understand why we have to farm Citadel mode to get materials just to get better quality weapons, or battle items, or horses.
See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning, because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me.
Though a good reward you can get from playing Citadel mode is unlocking special scenes between characters. Say I play as Tarakatsu and Hanzo on Citadel mode 3 times. It will unlock a special interaction between them. These are short scenes, but I personally like these little details. I just hate that this is the only good thing you get out of playing Citadel mode. The other reward is materials for upgrading shops, which you can't even do unless your castle is at a certain level. A castle you can't even see or walk around, mind you. Unlike Dynasty Warriors 8, where you can see your town flourish, it will gradually upgrade and become populated because you grinded through the side mode that they had. That also levels up your characters. That's another thing about Citadel mode, is that it's shit for farming for experience. You're much better off playing free mode or story mode to max out your character's level. Citadel mode is just a disappointment. At least I don't have to play it to upgrade my invisible castle. I can play story mode to level up my castle, which lets me upgrade the shops. Though I have to play Citadel mode to get the material!
He's not even gonna try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance, minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 60.
Anyway, that's my only big letdown in Samurai Warriors 5. Everything else about the game is great, with some tiny nitpicks, like my favorites not being in the roster, and there being no opening when you boot up the game, just takes you straight to the title screen. So yeah, that's my review of Samurai Warriors 5. I honestly don't want to give this game a rating because ratings are useless unless you actually have a good criteria to base it off from. So I will say that this game is great and you should get it. The only bad side to it is Citadel mode. It sucks, and that you'll probably feel some repetition with Mitsuhide's storyline. Otherwise, gameplay and story mode is fun as hell. And I'm already planning to head back to play the game. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to watch me play this game on my second channel, and be sure to watch my playthrough of the demo in this channel. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace! Also, I forgot to mention that the soundtrack is magnificent. I love the soundtrack. You have the new music plus the remix stuff from the old games, and it's just mwah, chef's kiss. It's magnificent. And I love the change in style for the soundtrack. Adding some rock in it. It's no longer J-pop or techno. It's just rock, and I love it. I love it. I hope this is how the soundtrack sounds from now on, and I hope they keep using the spirit of Sanada soundtrack as well.